And welcome back to another episode of the Meathead Manual. I am one of your hosts, the illustrious, the meatiest meatball. What the fuck? I'm Adam Garcia. I'm here with me, as always, my good friend, my good buddy, my fucking compadre, Mr. Andrew Harris. Say what's up.
Hello, folks.
So welcome in. Today we're going to be talking a little bit. We're going to kind of go away. Well, we're not going to go away per se. We're not gone. We're not gone. We're going to step away from the whole like
advice, coaching.
Yeah, and it's not so, but it's going to be sprinkled in mainly because what we're going to be talking about a little bit is some history. We're going to deep dive into some of the greats and some of the best names in powerlifting. I'm really excited because the one that we're going to be talking about today is actually probably one of the first powerlifters I ever heard of.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. When I was in the realm of strongman and I was thinking about like, okay, so then what's powerlifting?
Yeah.
Right? Because and this is the thing, there's a lot of people that call strongman powerlifting.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know because they know strongman because they see it on TV.
Exactly.
The average person.
Exactly.
The layman.
And so I was like, so when I first heard of strongman, someone called it powerlifting. So I was like, oh, okay, let me look up powerlifting. Looked it up, and one of the first videos, this is back in like 2015, 2014 era, right?
Yeah.
This is during the time where I was like, I stopped trying to go for special warfare. I was like, I was one of those douches. Just so you know, when I was in the military, I was like, I'm gonna go fuck it, I'm gonna go swick, and I'm gonna be super cool, I'm gonna wear some gaiters, and I'm gonna go fucking fire fucking shit down my But so I was like, okay, so I heard I was like, okay, so then that looks fun. It's called powerlifting? Alright. So I looked it up, and the first video that came up was this compilation. And the first video in that compilation was this person's 1,000 pound squat for a double. And the person we're going to talk about today is Captain Kirk Kowalski, the number one.
That's quite an intro into like what powerlifting is.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, I saw him squat and the let me hold it. And I went,
what is this?
What?
What is this?
I'm not going to lie to you, I was completely turned off by it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, yeah, it's just lifting a barbell, all right. But like, where are the rocks? I want to see rocks.
Oh, that's your second.
Yeah, it's because again, in my brain, I was like,
see him pick up some wood and rocks.
I want to see him take this heavy thing and move it over there.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, if you had like a group of strongmen just be movers for people's apartments, it'd be so sick. But anyway, with that being said, okay, so he was born, from what I gathered, I couldn't grab his actual birthday, but he was born in 1966, so he's about, I think 59, 60 years old?
Yeah.
Just about. In the time that he was competing, right? He used to, because this was during the time that IPF still was, it was like, IPF was around, so it was, so he was a 6-time IPF world champion.
Yeah.
Right? And then he actually USPC, he competed in that, and he was a 7-time world champion in the USPC.
Oh.
So his competition timeline started all the way in the 80s and it ended in 2004.
Oh, so
He had
competed for a while.
Yeah.
It's like pretty much 20 years of competition.
Yes. So he's well known for his single ply work.
Yeah.
Right? But his last competition that he did, it was an exhibition. He did a full power. And yeah, he still squatted 824 in 2004. No.
So that puts him at what, age 60, So 40 something?
No, he was 38.
Oh, 38.
Yeah.
38. Math.
It's all right. But like the cool thing is, because I saw in an interview of him, he talked about it.
Yeah.
Because in an interview that he did with Mark Rippetoe back in 2012, he talked about it. He was like, it was an exhibition. I wouldn't really call it a full competition, but I just did it with a belt. I didn't have any knee sleeves, no knee wraps, no nothing. And I was like, fuck you, dude. And then going on, there's another video out there of him, this motherfucker, right? Squatting 800 for 5.
Yeah.
No knee sleeves, bro. No nothing.
No wraps. Nothing.
Just a belt.
Yeah.
Just a belt. Now, Kirk Kowalski was very, very much known for how intense he was.
Yeah.
Right? He brought the intensity, right? His training overall, his training mantra was heavy, intense, simple.
Yeah.
Right? And we're going to go a little bit into how he trained as well, because I find it to be very, it's very simple, very specific, right? But it's also too that you can learn something from that, in the sense that your training does not need to be something super extravagant. It doesn't need to be what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not good with words.
Overcomplicated.
There you go. sorry. But yeah, so.
Well, because I mean, even Louis talks about this. You talk about how really your workout should take an hour. And because his thing was after an hour, you start to get diminishing returns. Because your testosterone only spikes for a certain amount of time when you're lifting. And then after that, it starts to diminish. And then, so you're kind of you're not getting as much out of it when you start getting into, 2 hours of lifting.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is like, you can overtrain your body too, and if you're not recovering, you're not doing yourself any favors either.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I mean, get in there, get it done, and go.
Yeah.
So you start recovering.
Exactly. So more times than not, when it came to Kirk's actual training, he looked more towards, again, heavy, intense, and simple. There are a lot of people that used to train with him that used to say that he would go in, he would do one top set, right? He would hit some accessories, then go home.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like there's, coming from how I coach as well and how I do things, when I feel like that's something that you could do for someone that is very seasoned. Either
because you have to have a good base established, which he did. Obviously, like he was a massive dude, strong as fuck.
Yeah.
So he put in all the work early. So especially I think like as you get through to later in your training, you kind of need less to do more.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, let's go into a little bit of how it's something that I really enjoyed about how he did things was, let's go into his intention, his intensity, his mindset, right? Listening to him talk on that interview with Mark Rippetoe, right? One, he's a normal dude from Maryland, right?
Yeah.
So he's just like, and a lot of people talk about one of their favorite videos of him, and I think it was you who told me this was your favorite, or it wasn't Mo. I can't remember, but it was like he just had this very like I don't give a fuck attitude, right? And so he talked about the 1,000-pound squat that he did for 2, right? And he actually talked about how it wasn't supposed to be for a double. He was just supposed to hit it for a single, right? And he actually talked about how he's like, yeah, I think it cost me my 3rd attempt at that meet. I think I would have done a little bit more if I didn't hit that second. And then Mark Rippetoe was like, okay, so then if you not knowing that, you go back, would you? And he didn't even get a chance to finish the question. He goes, I would do it all over again. I don't care. I don't care. Because it's like going up into that. So like watching it, yes, it's a huge thing of like intensity. And he's like, no, I want to hold it. I want to hold it. But then you find out that he had been thinking about it all week, right? Because he knew it was coming.
Yeah.
That weekend, he told everyone, "Don't bother me right now. I need to just sit." So he just sat in his room for that whole weekend and just thought about this squat, right? he was like, "I could just do it for one. Just do it for one, and then I can just." And then it was a lot of that self-talk of like, and then he just looked at himself in the mirror and said, "No, fuck that, dude. What am I doing here? No, fuck that. I'm going in. I'm gonna hit it for a double. Fuck this."
Yeah.
And I think that to me, personally, I think that's something a lot of people. We kind of like we butt heads with those two sides, right? I know I do.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
And it's my biggest excuse that I give whenever I'm like, oh, I think this is fine. I'm gonna stop here. Blah blah blah. Is, well, you know, I need my body to work, or you know what I mean?
There's a lot of other factors that go into it.
Of course, right? But like sometimes, and I think a lot of people should sometimes adopt this is, well, fuck that, dude. No.
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking pussy. Let's fucking get out there and fucking do it. And I feel like that thought process, because that was another thing that he talked about a lot. During the time that he was competing, he had this guy that used to come with him. It's called Big, I think his name's Big Bob.
Yeah.
Right? Big Bob, super heavyweight, right? And he even told Kirk, he's like, "Listen, you're in a weight class way below me. I'm a super heavyweight. You squat way more than me. I'm not going to talk shit to you." And he's like, "No, I need you to." and so, and like, what he's talking about is that, and I feel like this is where a lot of people have kind of pushed away, especially in today's powerlifting, is when Kirk Kowalski would get done doing a squat, either in training or on the platform. When he would get off, he'd look at Big Bob and go, "What was wrong with it? What was wrong with it?"
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of people who don't. It's like today's powerlifters don't do that anymore.
No, we get done and we're like, "Hey, you did a good job. It was great." You know.
Yeah, they don't want to hear because it's like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've talked about it before, where like with coaching side, it's like. You want to help them out right away, but then you don't want to take away from their accomplishment, because then it gets in their head and all this stuff. So, but that's where Kirk was a different human being. He was like, "No, give it to me. Give it to me right away. I need to know." And
he talked about it too, because it was the Maryland Athletic Club that's where he used to train at, and it became such a big thing because people saw Big Bob do it. He'd walk over and be like, "Hey, you shifted. It looked like shit."
Yeah.
And like Kirk would be like, "Oh, okay, thanks."
Yeah.
There was one time where he actually got off the platform and he was like, "I knew it moved so fucking well. It moved so well." And Big Bob came over to me and was like,
"Nah."
Well, no, Big Bob walked over to him and was like, "I don't like that you laced your shoes the way that you did." And just walked away. He was like, "That was the best accomplishment I ever had." But like, that interaction changed the atmosphere in Maryland Athletic Club, because then it got to a point where it was like you had these like big 250-pound fucking dudes repping out 650, repping out 700 pounds, racking it, and you had the fucking competitive 132-pound girls over here walking over and being like, "Hey, that look like shit. You need to fix this." Like,
yeah.
You need to fix. And
so they built a culture of accountability.
Exactly.
And
that's something I feel like it's like we can adapt. I feel like we could adapt a little bit of that in today.
Yeah.
I feel like
something so sensitive and like be like, "Hey, like you need this feedback."
Yeah.
And then also like creating a culture where people have a voice, and like if they see something, you can say it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are afraid to offend somebody.
Yeah.
So they don't say anything. So yeah, I think we can definitely take a page out of Kirk's training life.
Especially if you're like trying to be in the, because there's like, obviously you'll see it. There's an attitude in people that are like, "I'm here for a good time. I'm here to do what I want to do."
Yeah.
And then you have the people that are like, no, this is what I love doing. This is how I love doing it, and then, this is my thing. Two people come to mind whenever I think about that are like younger guys that are like starting to come up. Caden and Liam in STS.
Yeah.
Those two, like, strong dudes, college kids. Liam pulled
It's like
771 at this last end. He is going to pull 800 here soon.
Oh yeah.
I'm more than, but the thing is that it's like you can tell what kind of person, but it's like at the end of the day, I feel like if you can't walk up to a person and be like, or at least walk up to someone and they're like, yeah, I just got done doing this, and you're like, that's great, but it was a little high.
Yeah.
Or that was great, but I saw it like dip forward just a little bit, and it just shows that like you could use a little bit of brace work or something. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's not taking away from your accomplishment. No, I feel like whenever someone, it's like, oh, you told me that and it took away from my accomplishment. No, I feel like you're taking that away. It's like when you get that criticism in your head, it means, oh, it was shit, I'm shitty. No.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's just to make you better.
Yeah, well, it's like, it's, you go back to some of the old school greats and stuff, they'd want to hear what they're doing wrong so they can get better.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of been lost a little bit. I think if you look at the top level guys, they're probably like that.
Yeah.
But that's the difference. That's the difference between, top level guys versus mid people is the top level guys are like, they don't let shit like that phase them.
Yeah.
Because they know they're good, and if you say that, like, hey, like, it was a little off, they want that because that's how they get better.
Exactly. And but like that was something that I really loved hearing about when he was talking about was that like everyone at the end of the day, it was like the culture of the mindset in the athletic club was, how do we make you better? And it's like, so he would go, like, especially, so during his off season though, he trained more so like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, well, he looked like a bodybuilder.
Oh dude, he was
fucking massive.
Massive.
And he wasn't fat, he was lean.
Lean, cut.
Yeah,
like,
it's almost, the guy that reminds me that's current is Kyle Kerbe. Like, they're kind of very similar build of like, okay, you look like you could bodybuild, but also you're strong as shit.
Yeah, and so like during the time that he talks about this a lot, is that during the time that he was on his off season, he used no equipment, no belts, no nothing.
Yeah.
And he would do sets of 12 to 8s to 6s, and he would train like a bodybuilder, right?
Yeah.
And then once he was getting ready for a meet, that's when the intensity and that's when the specificity would actually.
Yeah, the movements. Which I like that. I like, especially when the weights are lighter, I try to usually go as heavy as I can without knee sleeves, without any of this stuff, because you have to train all that stuff and you have to keep them strong. Like if your knees can be strong without sleeves, well, then sleeves are just going to give so much more to you.
Yeah.
If you put your sleeves on at the lightest weight,
yeah,
you're not really helping out because your knees are always used to that.
Yeah.
Assistance.
And I feel like also too, especially with the new generation of sleeves. I mean, like, that's another thing too. What kind of athlete or what kind of powerlifter would Kirk Kowalski be if he was around today?
Yeah, if he was still lifting today.
I feel like he would, honestly, I think he would absolutely be probably still one of the best.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure. Like, it just...
I think he probably would have... Because if you think about it, they were just starting to get into like the thousands and squats and stuff like that. Like then, like now, like seeing what people can do, I think, especially seeing, and then I think he probably would have taken on some of the raw stuff. Because like you're seeing some crazy nasty numbers out of raw people. I think he would have probably taken on raw.
Oh yeah.
If you only did single ply, then fucking...
Yeah, especially with single ply back in the day, like single ply, it wasn't much. But like they were still totaling massive amounts of numbers when it was just
it was just a little denim fucking.
it was a canvas thing.
It was, you weren't getting much out of those single ply. It's not like what these guys get out of these multi-ply or limited stuff now.
Well, I mean, it's like, I mean, if it would, like, shifting gears just a little bit to go into, like, what, like, today, like, just this past weekend, the Clash of Titans.
Yeah, Clash of Titans,
And,
Which was, that was all sleeves? Or was it
no, it was,
wraps?
there was wraps, too, because,
Okay.
Justin's all
Wraps.
competed in wraps, and, like, dude, it was...
Which, I mean, the sleeves, the difference between sleeves and wraps anymore is not that much.
It really isn't. It really isn't.
These new sleeves are crazy.
I threw even then, like back in the day. I remember when I competed back in like 2017, 2018 time. I would see people like they would go and buy like if they were like a large in SPDs, they get like smalls and just fucking they would pull those motherfuckers on, and it was they'd be so tight, and they was like, oh yeah, it's like wearing a light wrap. I'm like, what the fuck? Nowadays, oh my god, dude, it's like
7mm, like sleeve, like.
It's hard to believe those are 7mm.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm looking at it, and I remember when the first generation of those Inzers came out, and they're like, they're within regulation, they're 7mm, and I was like, look at this thing.
You can set a plate on it.
Dude, you're telling me this is 7mm? This, and then I pull out my flimsy ass fucking SBD sleeve and be like, this and this are the same thing? No, it doesn't seem. It's semantics, right? But yeah, so
it's the Clash of Titans.
yeah, so Justin's all you had a lot of the guys that were there, and it's like,
it was quite the lineup.
oh man, yeah,
Pretty cool lineup. And then, not to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it already, the guy that won it came out of nowhere.
yeah.
Was not kind of one of the underdogs.
Yeah, no one knew, like, I wouldn't want to say no one knew who he was, but it's like,
he's like, to even get into it, you still have to total 1,000 kilos. So, you're a damn good power lifter if you can get into the meat on its own.
yeah, but it's like also too, but like again, so it's like looking at a lot of the guys that were on the Clash of Titans, right? Same thing, just like you said. A lot of them they look like bodybuilders. Nick Dupree.
Oh yeah.
Nick Dupree. He took second, and he looks. To me, he looks stage ready. Like he could definitely take stage if he wanted to. John Hack.
Yeah.
One of the lighter guys, but still pulled a freight train. Still moved a lot of fucking weight, but he looks very good.
Although supposedly he kind of fucked himself going into it with his water cut was a little too much or something.
Oh fuck!
So he went into it weak.
See, that's the problem.
Although,
Dude, you want to talk about like water cuts, man? I'll say here too. This is something that I kept to myself, and I really wish that I would have done the due diligence to actually ask questions. But that ABS meet,
yeah.
I cut weight for that, and I said I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it for the dots so that I can keep on weight.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
No.
It really didn't, and I really feel like if I just didn't do that, and I just went in and competed,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, can't hate the results.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to, but it's like it's also too.
But also you're like, I missed the 20. You missed the 2100 that you were really shooting for.
Yeah, and I feel like also too, it's like again, if I just didn't water cut, like you just said, what could have been, you know what I mean? So, with that being said,
Yeah.
going back a little bit, because we'll talk a little bit more about the Clash of Titans in the sense that.
Keep going.
I know, it throws me off every single time. Sorry. Going into the later topic of our peeve the fuck up, but going back to Kirk a little bit more about Kirk Kowalski, I feel like whenever people talk about him, again they always talk about like a lot of the intensity and the stuff that he was in, but like just hearing how he did everything in his interview with Mark Ripito. The one thing that also too is that he started in the gym very early. Very early. I think he was like 11 or 12 when he started working out.
You know, it's a pretty common theme you hear from a lot of these greats.
Yeah.
Like in our conversation with On, you know,
Yeah.
he started at a super young age.
Yeah.
So it seems like that's a pretty common theme.
Yeah.
So
It was one thing too is that like he really liked, he wanted to, he was always a very powerful squatter. That's what he always talked about, is that like when he was in high school, the top thing was like a 300-pound squat. I think as he was, if I remember correctly, as he was leaving or as he was getting more into it, like he was leaving high school with like a 600-pound squat. Just mad. Just dude was just meant to squat, man. The dude was just a really fucking great squatter and just and overall just a powerhouse of him. And his first ever competition, he lied about his age. He lied. It was like, in order to compete, you have to be 15 years old. He was 14. He lied. He said he was 15. And so that was his first meet. And like each meet that he's gone to after that, it was like, I mean, again, it was one of those things where it's like hearing how he talks about his time competing. It was just it was a whole different type of monster than how it is nowadays.
yeah.
And it was like a lot of the world titles and a lot of the competitions definitely held a lot more weight to it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Like, there wasn't. I believe there wasn't as many federations.
Yeah, there wasn't.
So you were competing against the best in those competitions. Like the competitions, like actually, like those big ones actually meant something.
Yeah.
It was like, because literally the best of the best were showing up. There wasn't a competition every weekend like you see here. Like there's like, I think now usually there's like 20 competitions within the United States every weekend.
Yeah.
So it's like, you really are never competing against the best.
You're really just competing against the Joe Schmo that just walked in.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
So I think that's a big one, is like you compete. There's only a couple competitions a year.
Yeah.
So you choose which one you compete in. You're gonna be competing against the best of the best.
Yeah.
You know. So that I think that means a lot more when you win something like that. Because even like, you know, like I said, we'll get into more of it, but even the Clash of Titans, there's still a lot more better lifters that didn't compete in that. Like, it was a great show.
Yeah.
But there's, like, I can think of, 6-7 guys who are better.
Yeah.
That could have competed and won. And like, so you don't really get that same sense of like, well, I won against the best.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely, yes. And I think also too, it's that like, with IPF and everything, it's, that side is very, with the IPF and USAPL can be very elitist and everything. And a lot of the attitude towards whether or not if their athletes can go and compete in other competitions and stuff like that. I think it's called Article 14. Yeah. Nothing against that. You guys you compete where you want to compete. That's great. But I think that's also too, because I would love to see like some of the top guys in either the IPF or USAPL, even guys going into the Sheffield. I'd love to see them compete against some of the guys that like did the Clash of Titans. You know what I mean? And just like.
Well, like, just how cool would it be to one day get the actual true top 10 lifters in the world to compete in the same competition? Truly. Like how, and then that's really the only way that you can say like, all right, you are the true world champion or whatever, but that's how it used to be when Kirk was competing.
That was true,
Because they didn't have much in auction. Now you have so many options. Guys are like, man, I'll go to the next one and I'll win some money.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think money was a great incentive that was placed within powerlifting, but also I feel like the money aspect in a sense kind of put a little bit of a damper on powerlifting, just a little bit.
Well, it's too spread out.
Yeah.
You kind of need to do like what bodybuilding does and have a Mr. Olympia where the main money comes from that. Like you can win a little bit of money in these other shows, but you want to win $400,000. Well, guess what? You got to come to Mr. Olympia. And that's how you get the best of the best to the stage.
That's true.
And that's because that's what they do. They get the best of the best because this is the one single title that says you're the best bodybuilder in the world for this year.
Yes,
I don't have that in powerlifting. There's no like, well, this is the championship of powerlifting. There's none of that.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's in better words, that's exactly what I was trying to say. I was trying to get that, and it's just because it's like more times than not, people are looking at this and going, "Why am I putting my body through this if I'm just going to get a title? I need to be able to like put something towards." And I feel like that would be awesome if there was an actual like this is the stage and podium for what is powerlifting. Yeah. And if we had something like that we're like, hey, this is why you train for it. And it's like, it used to be. Yeah. We used to have that. And with the current US Open, I mean, the payout was $25,000. Yeah. Damn.
Be nice. But that's what it comes down to. Just, somebody has to come in with the money and be like, all right, we're putting $100,000. Whoever wins gets $100,000. Something like that.
Yeah.
Which, if I ever win the lotto, that's what I'm gonna do.
Is that what you're gonna do? Just
but I want to see that, dude. I want to see that. I want to see the top 10 heaviest fucking lifters go. Yeah. With top 10 totals in the world. Let's go.
Yeah. And it's like, and it would be, that would be fucking sick.
Right?
Yeah, that would be so sick. And just like, yeah. Would you have, okay, so here's the question though, would you have, would you do how ABS does it with like the...
Oh, it'd be total, doesn't matter body weight, whatever your total is.
Sick.
Because like, I think you could do a couple of categories to, as like more of an expedition, because that's kind of how it's the same how the Olympia is. Yeah. Like, you have your classic, you have your other ones like that, but the real main one is
open. Yeah, exactly.
So like, if you could have something like that where it's like, all right, you have like a lightweight, middleweight, women's, all that stuff, and give some decent money for that. It'd be cool to have all the top guys there, but let's be real. People want to see the heaviest fucking weights move.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I think it's, man.
And to have a massive amount of money on the line will push people to like
really go. It's like, dude, $100,000.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
In powerlifting, that's like that's crazy.
That's like giving $1 million.
So yeah, that would be my plan if I were to win the lottery one day, is to build something like that. Because I think that would be cool for powerlifting.
Dude, that would be.
Because like, then you get the guys from the IPF who are like, oh, I'm gonna go compete over here now.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
Well, if you go over there, it's just Article 14. It's $100,000.
Yeah.
And even that, it's like this $100,000. And even if I don't podium, or even if I don't hit first, second gets like 50, and fucking third place gets 35 or something like that. It's like, dude, that's like
more than I'll ever make in IPF. Yeah,
exactly. And I don't think they get anything from like sponsorships from SBD.
Maybe a little.
Outside of like getting SBD shit. And I'm sorry, nowadays it's like, okay, I'm getting an SBD. The SBD's rigor mortis type sleeves, which aren't even that great. I would rather do that. Honestly, I'd rather be sponsored by like A7.
Yeah.
Because A7, at least that way you can at least like their rigor mortis sleeves are actually pretty legit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, A7 or a shout out to our buddy Andy at Next Level.
Yeah, exactly.
Those ones are pretty sick.
Dude, I haven't tried the Next Level stuff yet.
I like their wrist wraps. I've been using the wrist wraps.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did get a pair.
Yeah.
I want to get a pair. I want to get a pair of their knee sleeves and try them out.
Yeah.
I think next.
Andy.
Hey Andy. Don't you hold on. Don't you have a code for barbell apparel?
I do. I don't know if I gotta check and see if it's still active.
Okay, because then we can start doing ad reads. but so
use my code number real quick.
Mo told me that.
Yeah. So I gotta check and see. I haven't done anything with it for a while, but yeah, they actually give a pretty good commission.
Really?
It was like, I want to say like 20% commission.
Oh shit!
Like they're legit. Like they're pretty cool.
Listen, folks, if you're out there and you're done and tired walking around with your own normal gym wear, let's go ahead and update your closet with barbell apparel. Use code Harris at checkout.
I think I have it in the link in my bio on my Instagram.
There it is, folks.
But I mean, what I liked about them was their jeans more than anything. Their jeans are great.
I've never tried their jeans.
Oh, they're so good. Because finding good jeans for lifters is hard.
Sorry. Continue.
Not but no, seriously though, like that's what got me into I like them is their jeans because they like stretch a little, but they look really nice.
I can tell you right now, since being at the size that I am, I have not worn I wear a lot of joggers and like cargo joggers when I'm at work, but outside of that, I don't wear pants.
Yeah,
it's because exactly
I walk around naked all the time.
That's right.
but no, when you start lifting, it's hard to find stuff like that fits really well.
Exactly. I always tend to tear at the crotch because my thighs rub.
Yep, thick thighs.
The thick thighs. But with that being said, I mean, we'll wrap up a little bit when it comes to Kirk. I think a lot of times, again, the dude competed for over 20 years. I mean, he was in the early 80s all the way up into 2004.
Which some people say that was kind of the heyday of powerlifting. Late 90s, early 2000s really was because you start to see the massive numbers being moved and
I think also too it's that there were so many pioneers in the sport that were around during that time.
Yeah,
you had Ed Cohen that was active during that time. You had Westside Barbell. You had LA Athletic Club, or where On was doing his stuff. Scott Mendelson was doing his thing, and Donnie Thompson was.
You just started to see some of the craziest numbers coming out of that time. Where it's like, holy cow!
I know, and it's like
possible.
And it's like one of those things where it's like you look at a lot of the guys that were competing during that time, and you're like, these guys paved the way.
Yeah.
For a lot of powerlifting. And what's sad is, at least in my eyes, because it's like I can sit here and I can talk about this with you or with Mo. Mm-hmm. Me and Mo we'll sit and chat about powerlifting history all fucking day.
Yeah.
But that's right, it was him.
Yeah, it probably was him.
It was him who I was talking to. And going slightly back, because I don't think I ever actually said what the video was that we were talking about. Yeah. And there was a video of Kirk, and it's Mo's favorite and a lot of people's favorite. And it is he's like, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the proper way to make a protein shake. And so he took his protein and he put it into his old school 1990s blender, right? And then he takes 2 beers, cracks them open, puts them into the blender.
I know what you're talking about.
Blends it up and chugs it, dude. And it's like, damn, that was sick.
Yeah.
But if there's one thing also too I want to talk about, when it's like when I was listening to this to the interview with Mark Ripito, is that the whole time, because I have YouTube Premium,
Yeah.
so I'm just like listening to it while I'm walking around and stuff like that, and like Mark is asking questions, but during the time that he's talking, you can hear this in the background.
The heavy breathing.
Just because at the time, I mean, he's been powerlifting for like, so it was 2004, it was 2012. What's math? That's 8 years. So it's been about 8 years since the last time he really like competed. So he probably like, but he was still pretty jacked. Pretty jacked. Like, he was like, you can tell he was like sitting there, just like he was. And it's like, that's something I truly try to avoid. And that's why I try and like stay as healthy as I possibly can. And I truly build or whatever. But it's just because like at one point, I've even heard myself, I'll just be sitting there and just sound like I'm a fucking dying pug. But it's like, it's like
the true bully strength life.
Exactly. But like when it came down to it though, it's that like, it's like what the sad thing about it is that there's so many of these great names, and I can talk to you and I can talk to Mo about it.
Yeah.
But it's like if I say Kirk Kowalski to anyone else, they're like, who? I don't know who that is. I'm like, how do you not know who Kirk Kowalski is? How do you not know who Ed Cohen is? I have to tell. I think. Sorry, Chelsea. I remember having to explain who Louis Simmons was to Chelsea.
Oh no!
And Chelsea was like, I don't know who that is. Understandably so. She's 23, 24 years old. Like,
yeah.
But still, though, it was just sad. It was just so sad.
Well, I don't think the history of the sport is really told as well. Like, not like some of the other sports, you get into baseball or something, everybody talks about the greats there. But, there's always these debates about who's the greatest, Whereas powerlifting, kind of. There's not really anybody going, like, having discussions, sitting down going, like, who's the greatest powerlifter of all time?
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people would say that, like, Kirk Kowalski was
He's up there.
He's up there
for sure.
The GOATs so far that I've heard is Kirk, is Ed Cohen.
Yeah.
He's still slinging. Zahir Kudierov, do you know who that is?
No.
Zahir Kudierov, dude. He was around during the time that like Dan Green and all of them were all so it was like,
that was like, what, 2010?
Yeah, exactly. And dude, he was like, he's still slanging, he's still going, he's still doing his thing. But he's from Azerbaijan, and the dude is just one of the most intense lifters. Just squatting 1,000 pounds at the time. He squatted 1,000 as a 242er. It's just massive.
That's impressive.
Right?
242, 1,000
Yeah,
pounds.
dude. And he did it in knee wraps. And it was like, but like, I remember once a friend of mine actually wrote to him to try and like find out, because he had this one, it was like a combo rack, but the handles moved out like a mono.
Huh.
It was so weird. It was like tilted this way, and then you would unrack it, it would go blah, and then you would squat, and then someone would push it back, and then you just rack it. It was super. So he wrote to me, emailed it to be like, hey, I'm trying to figure out what this monolift was. And Zahir only wrote back, you will never be as great as me.
That's hilarious.
My friend was like, oh, okay. Yeah. But like, and I even asked him, I was like, did he ever tell you what the model was? He's like, no, he never did. He just said you'll never be as great as
That's
me.
funny.
And I was like, and it's like, I feel like if anyone else did that, that would be like, dude, that dude's a dick, that's blah, blah, blah. But because it was a here, and just how you would hear it, it was like him and Constantine, would they buddied together a lot. And they were like, there are a lot of times, my favorite video of him is, there's Constantine's about to go out and do his deadlift.
Yeah.
His massive, over 800 pound deadlift, something like that. And he was sitting there, and say here takes this like chalk, or he takes this like stuff, and he like just rubs it all over the back of Constantine. He's like, he's just screaming nonsense. It sounds like nonsense, but it's obviously it's Russian.
Yeah.
And he's just screaming at him, and he just like hits him in the back of the neck, just, bah, bah, bah. And then he goes, he fucking hits it, and everyone's like, ah. And so you're just like, dude, I'm just like, dude, I remember sitting there, just like chills.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that. I was in Fallon, Nevada. I remember seeing that. I was sitting on the couch, I was just watching this. I remember unplugging my phone, putting it in my pocket, grabbing my gym bag, going to the gym. Because I remember that day.
That was a pure anabolic video.
It's legitimately that day. I remember being like, no, I
Yeah.
today. Today's been a long day. Because like usually I just go from the work straight to the gym, go and lift. But it's like that day. I remember seeing that video and being like, nope,
I'm going.
we're going.
Well, I mean, it's important to have those like little things that you can do,
Oh, dude.
like that. Pull a video and go like,
Old powerlifting motivations, dude.
oh fuck, okay, yeah, I need to go.
Yeah, dude.
It's amazing how something like that will just like trigger something in you. Just like, okay, I'm heading in.
The thing I like to watch though, and I think a lot of people can get a little bit of advice from this as well, is that I like to watch what I eat in a day videos for bodybuilders.
Yeah.
And strangely enough, watching those videos, I don't know what it is, but it triggers that like, okay, I need to do it. I can do this. I can stay on a diet. I can stay on.
Well, I think part of that is when you see that somebody else can do this, you are, all right, I can do it. We often need that reminder that like, okay, somebody else is staying on their diet and eating boiled chicken and rice. I can eat my meal.
Yeah.
I can stay on track.
Seriously. And they're like I remember seeing one guy eating, he was doing his, and it was like, he was like 4 weeks out from his show, and he was just like, it's chicken and rice again. I'm gonna eat this. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
But it's also too, it's so funny, is like there's sometimes where I'll be sitting there just like watching them like go through this, and I'll be like, dude, I can totally do that. Meanwhile, I'm just like eating a California burrito, just like just gonna watch what you're doing. But yeah, it's like I feel like I think that's also too why it's important that we talk about these guys, is because it's like, I mean, Kirk squatted 1,003 in his prime, in single ply, benched, and then in raw he squatted 824 or 826, something like that. But his bench was like at the very end, 2004, his bench was 463, 462, deadlifted 771, total 2061. You know, like that, I was like, damn.
Like, I was just like, I'm just having fun.
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's definitely important because these guys all paved the way for what the sport is today. Mm-hmm. You know, they are the ones that broke through those numbers that people didn't think were possible.
Exactly.
To allow us to be able to do it today, and I think it's important to remember that, like, you know, without these guys. Without these dudes that like did the impossible, powerlifting wouldn't be where it's at now, where we're having guys, you know, total 2,500 raw, you know, or you get to the 3,000, you know, and and equipped lifting, you know, you don't have that without the guys that paved the way early on,
Yeah.
pushing those numbers, pushing the weight, you know, and really making the sport what it was.
Yeah. So I pulled up, I have his
Yeah.
open powerlifting, and, because I wanted it. So yeah, so his, actually I was wrong. His raw bench was 500.
Okay.
So he totaled 2061, squatted 826, benched 500, deadlifted 771. In his single ply, he squatted 1003, benched 562, and deadlifted 777. Now here's something that I've always found it's very weird, right? And this is something that I've noticed with a lot of the geared lifters. And I mean geared, I mean like multiply, single ply,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Squat, massive. Bench, big. Deadlift,
Yeah.
man.
Well, it's because you get the least out of the deadlift out of your suits.
Is that really?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because when the suits, when you get down to the bar, you're not, like in a squat, for them to get all the way down in the bottom of a squat, takes effort
Yeah.
to get down.
Yeah.
So that suit is really like pulling against you, and so you got to work against the suit. So the more weight you have, the more the suit's working.
Yeah.
You know, whereas in the deadlift, you get a little bit out of the bottom, but after that, it's mostly you. So their raw deadlift is close to what they can do in a suit usually. Whereas their squat is way different, their bench is way different.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what it is. It's what the suit gives you.
Yeah, because his deadlift from his raw, actually straight exactly. I'm looking right at it. His deadlift from single ply to raw, his deadlift was 771, single ply 777.
Yeah. So most of the guys, yeah, you don't really get much out of the suits for the deadlift.
Yeah. Makes me want to think about what it would be like if I did single ply. Anyway.
Oh, dude, when you get into these unlimited, whoa,
Dude, I'll throw on a suit.
I'm sure. So if you practice at it, I'm sure you can probably squat over 1,000.
I think so. And then
bench. I bet your bench should be pretty good too.
Oh,
I
probably.
think you'd be getting to the 800s pretty quick.
yeah. And then I'll deadlift exactly 135. But let's go into it a little bit now. Let's switch gears now into the one we've been thinking about, the one that we've been talking about,
Teasing a little.
Andrew, I'm fucking peeved the fuck up.
What are you peeved about?
I'm peeved because there's one. I see a lot of this a lot lately. Meat didn't go the way I planned. A lot of people end up taking how they did in their prep and how they did in their peak, and then they go into competition and it doesn't show up. Now, mind you, sometimes it just be like that. However, if you do not show the fuck up on your meet day, you could have the best prep in all of it. It does not fucking matter. When performance happens, when the performance is there, fucking perform.
Yeah.
Hate to say it, it's like the platform is your dance recital. Fucking start dancing, dude.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a good time to have fucking stage fright. This coming from a dude, by the way, myself. It has stage fright. Every time I go to a competition, I always get to, especially before I hit my first squat, I am almost like, I'm about 2 seconds away before going to the bathroom to throw up because I'm very nervous.
Yeah.
But it's like the moment it's like we get out there, it's like, no, fucking now. I think it's because most of the time, I'm sorry. Every time. I think it's because most of the time, I'm more afraid of embarrassing myself on the platform. And they'll understand I'm not, so we are not. I'm not going to sit here and look at the guys from the Clash of Titans, and critique any of their stuff because, but mind you, when you get up to a certain spot or a certain part of performing, and that is like the elite, advanced to elite, the littlest things can fuck everything. Like take for instance, right? Justin Zottel was supposed to squat over 1,000 pounds. He only ended at 9 something for whatever 420 kilo is.
960.
Yeah. Now, who am I to say I have never even?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I can't even fathom how heavy that is.
Yeah.
Right. But he even talked about it going into the meet. Right. He during prep he had a quad injury. I think he tore his quad. He rehabbed it back during that time.
Yeah.
But dude still performed.
Yeah.
Dude still performed. And I think that was one thing too. Remember at our last meet, Kyle Curvey, he tore his quad and
tore his quad,
and Justin literally got in his face and was like, "You fucking came out here to perform and put on a show. It's time for you to fucking do it. Let's get out there." Like, from what I was told and what I saw in the back, Kyle did not want to continue.
Yeah.
He wanted to pull out. He's like, "No, I'm injured. I gotta go. I'm done."
Yeah.
And Justin was like, "Fuck you! You're not doing that." And I sat there and was like, "Damn.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick." Now, the reason why those kind of Instagram posts peeve me so much is because meet didn't go as planned. Okay.
Fuck your plan.
Yeah, fuck your plan, dude.
Yeah.
You still got a chance to you still
adapt and overcome, motherfucker.
Exactly. It's like because and like that's the thing too is that a lot of people don't understand is that like your peak and your prep can go perfectly. Of course it's gonna go perfectly. Hey, guess what? You have days in between your training sessions. Right?
Yeah.
You have your nutrition down, hopefully down to a T.
You only have to focus on one lift for that day.
Exactly.
You know.
And then after that, once you're done, your coach or your people around you go, "Fucking
good job."
How you do it, and fucking then you go home and you recover.
Yeah.
And then you go on, you step on the stage and you're like, "Oh, meet didn't go as planned." Well, you did the work.
Yeah.
Now fucking show it. Do what you were supposed to do. Get out of your head for a second.
Yeah.
Please. And this isn't a dig at people who have, performance anxiety. That shit happens, I get it. But it's like, at the same time, like
what the Clash of Titans showed you, because the guy that won it was one that nobody expected, is if you show up and you perform at your best, you go in and you go, "I'm giving my whole ass into this thing." Yeah. It shows that you at any day you can do great things.
Yeah.
And like I think that's the lesson there is like, if you're going, "I didn't perform as well as I could have," well, you know what? You need to fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
So you can show up game day and perform at your best. So, because like the way I always try to tell people, and this is life advice I give people all the time, is when you go and do something, you want to do it. You want to give everything you got into it, because you don't want to go back and look at it and go, "Oh, could have done this, or done that." All these, these reasons, excuses, whatever.
Yeah.
You want to go out and be like, maybe I didn't hit the numbers I wanted, but I showed out.
Yeah.
I gave everything I got. All right, I didn't hit the numbers, but you know what though? I'm fucking proud of myself. I felt good. I did, and it goes from the whining. I didn't do as good. Me didn't go to plan. I didn't do as good as I wanted. To like, man, I gave it all.
Yeah.
I gave it all. I left it all out there.
Fuck yeah, dude. Like I mean, I did not prepare. I was not prepared for how ABS's meets were going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. We fucking showed up and we did it anyway.
Yeah.
Does not matter.
No.
I could have sat there and been like, me
This would be hard.
Me did those planned. I wanted 535. Bitch, I knew I wasn't going to hit 535 on the platform.
Yeah.
I knew it. The moment I tried 523 on my last press in prep, I was like, there's no way I'm hitting 540. No way.
Yeah.
There's just no way. But I'm going to try. We're going to go out. We're going to fucking give it our all.
Yeah.
I went down in weight, actually. My PR is 523 on competition day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reason why that was because we had so much ample time between squat and bench. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that was what made that meet so fun, was that we walked into that being like, okay, so like, all right, how long is no? I got off the platform after that 738 squat, turned around, immediately started warming up the bench.
Yeah.
But it's like, but that's
You could either let it like destroy you, or you're like, all right, let's fucking do this.
Yeah.
Come on.
So,
That's what we gotta do.
Suck it up. Fucking take your halo if you need to, and fucking go out and fucking give it hell, dude. Because it's like at the end of the day, it's like you can sit here. It's like you can sit here and prepare for a fight all you want, but until you actually get in, gloves on, you get hit in the face.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
And especially, dude, like you can. And what peeves me the most about it is I usually see those me didn't go as planned from people who really who have competed a lot.
Well, all it means is they're looking at it and going, I could have done better.
Yeah.
I could. They're looking back and they're regretting because they didn't do everything they should have done.
Yeah.
That's really what they're saying. When they say that, they're saying, I didn't put my full effort in. I didn't do everything I should have done. And that's really what they should be saying.
Yeah.
Now, you think it was past. No. What you should be saying is I regret not giving my all.
You didn't whole-ass it.
Yeah.
You half-assed it.
Yeah. That's whenever you read that, that's what it says.
Yeah.
It's not me didn't go to plan, it's I didn't give my all.
Yeah.
That is exactly what it says. That's what you should start posting. Anytime you see somebody is you need to edit that, say I didn't give. Just
Yeah.
start posting that in their shit.
Oh, dude, I start a whole bunch of shit. Yeah. But it's like,
Because that's what they're saying. That's what you're saying when you say that shit. And that's the reality. And you need to have that honest conversation with yourself and not try to, because they just want some sympathy.
yeah.
They want people to go, oh, well, you did great.
You went out there and did the best that you could.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
No.
No, you didn't.
No.
Because going into that, you were like, I'm going to show, and then what more than likely happens whenever I see something like that is they hit their opener and it rocks them.
Yeah.
Or they go for
It feels good as a shit.
yeah, or they go for the number that they want and they don't get it and it rocks them.
Yeah.
Oh well, buddy.
Guess what? You still got more lifts?
You have 8 more lifts you gotta fucking do. Oh well.
Get together.
Yeah.
Find that gear. Find that next gear.
And it's like, but you can't teach that.
No. And that's something that, well, that's why they're always going to be probably mediocre lifters. Let's be real.
Yeah. Well, exactly. And it's like, again, let me caveat this too as well to show that, like, listen, shit happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you show up to, like, I remember one of my meets that I was my first ever 600-pound squat in competition. No, only in sleeves. It was just, it was my first time ever doing it on competition. And I remember I had to move literally, I had to move literally that same weekend.
Mm.
But when I woke up to go and go and compete, this was around the time that COVID started happening.
Okay.
And we didn't know anything about it. It's just like everyone just knew it as the, hate to say it, because trust me, and I want it known, I never called it this. But there were so many people that was like, you mean the Chinese virus? Dude, when I heard that shit, I was like, You know, I don't think you should be calling it that, but fine, man. All right, whatever.
Why not? We called it the Spanish flu.
That's true. That's true. But that is true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's just where it came from.
But like, I remember I couldn't smell the ammonia because ammonia still has a little bit of a smell. I just hit. My nose was stuffy. I was sick, dude.
Yeah.
I was sick, and I remember sitting there being like, "Fuck, chug NyQuil. Just better chug NyQuil and fucking go out there." And I hit my numbers.
Yeah.
Still hit my numbers. There's a level of like there. Okay, yes, I can agree that powerlifting is very D-ranked athleticism. Okay, if that's how everyone wants to call it, fine, whatever. I'm not an athlete. But there's still a level of athleticism when it comes to you have to be able to adapt on the fly.
Yeah.
When I was going for my first ever 2K total in reps, we did it at Grinder. And we had to warm up outside.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time it was October. It was the deep roots. Yeah, so it was October. It was not
Yeah, it was October. It was still pretty warm here in San Diego.
Yeah. We're outside deadlifting fucking in the heat, fucking dude, and it was cooking.
Yeah.
Still went out there.
Yeah.
Did I get it? No, I totaled 1940. But fucking still went out
They're
there.
gonna make excuses.
No excuses. Still fucking went out there. It was my first time ever trying Halo, by the way.
Yeah.
I remember that day. Dude, I remember that day because fucking Keith came over to me and he was like, "It was a black pill." He goes, "Here, take this." And I was like, "What is it?" He goes, "Just fucking take it, dude." And I was like, "All right." I took it, and the moment I took it, I went, "What?" Dude, it was my first time ever. Dude, I just sat there. I was like, "Fuck, dude, let's fucking go." And I remember hitting my opener and my second attempt, and just being like, and then my buddy Dom, who was my coach at the time, walked over and was like, "Do you?" Looked at Jan and was like, what should I give him? Because I don't want to talk to him. Because I just remember sitting there just like,
foaming at the mouth.
yeah. That was before I knew what T&E was, but fuck, man. Anyway, so going on, with that being said, for any of you that are listening, just remember that your meet day is not going to be like any of your days that you were on for prep or for peak. Don't get me wrong, you can have a great fucking day. You can have a great day, but even in that great day, you're still going to have to adapt to things. You're still going to have to deal with some sort of strife.
Yeah.
Right? Be it someone is taking too long on the platform, so now you're ready. Now you're There's just so many things that can go on, and it's and during prep and peak is during your time to really figure out how you can perform at your 100%, and just remember that on meet day, it is not going to be like your prep day. It is going to be a time where you are going to have to adapt to something.
Yeah.
Something.
You have to dig deep.
You will.
Yeah. And also I think the big thing is changing perspective.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at it going, oh, I didn't hit the numbers we planned, we talked about, all that stuff, you should be saying, you know what, I gave it all. I left it out there on the platform. These are the numbers I got, and I'm going to go back to the drawing board and do better.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep getting better. And like that's kind of the perspective that I think that it's the difference between a champion mentality and a middle of the pack person.
Yeah.
You know, the champion's going to be like, all right, like I lost today, but tomorrow I go back to work.
Yeah.
I go back to getting better.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't sit there and make excuses. They don't go, oh, I had the flu. You know, no. They go and they like, well, I lost, so I'm gonna get better tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's what I think more people need to take on is like, all right, you competed, it didn't go as planned, so what?
Yeah.
You're gonna hop on that horse you know, when you recover and then hop on that horse and start getting better again. And don't make excuses as to, well, fuck that. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody really. When everybody sees that, they'll give the like, oh, but you did great. But people are like, shut the fuck up.
Exactly. It's like,
Shut the fuck up.
exactly. It's like Goku said. If you fall off the horse, you get back up and you eat that horse.
Yeah.
Come eat that horse with me, Vegeta. That's what he said. It's a Team 4-star reference for anyone that's wondering. Anyway, so, but exactly that. There is, I'm sorry, I can keep talking about this. It's just because it's like, I've had my list of bad days. And,
Yeah.
And it's,
We all.
yeah, we all. But it's like, I find it funny too, because like every time I have like, and because this is coming from my own personal experience. Understand, I'm not judging anyone, but this is my own personal experience. Whenever I'm either having a bad day or weight's not moving right, you know what plays in my head? It's not a, man, why?
Is that the circus music?
No, it's never anything like, oh, well, you know, what was me? No, it's very, maybe you should have eaten a little more, huh?
Yeah.
Or, hey, how was your sleep last night? Probably wasn't great, right?
Yeah, you have a real honest conversation.
Exactly. And it's like, it's so funny, because it's like usually the people that are like, and I've noticed that too, so like, it was like you were saying, it's like people are looking for that sympathy. It's also too, it's like people being like, oh, didn't get the numbers that I wanted today, it's because they're looking for that cope.
Yeah.
They're looking for that thing for people to look at them and be like, you did the best that you could, but deep down they know.
Yeah.
Deep down they know they could have done something different during their time. They could have worked on their cardio just a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, they're gassing out a little too much. Yeah, maybe I didn't have to weight cut.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's me. That's my thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, it's just having that honest conversation.
he really did. Yeah.
And stop using the internet to try to boost your ego.
Because it's the truth. Because it's not. Because the moment that you open it up, you got Kyle Curvey just like squatting a fuck ton of weight. He looks way better than both of them Anagabus, and it's just like, all right, man, fuck.
I got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. But I think I would like to continue. We're gonna continue on with a lot of our stuff, a lot of the historical figures in the powerlifting. We're also gonna. I also would like to bring up a little bit of like, not right now, but the next time, some of the old meets that used to.
Yeah, we talked about doing a top 5 meets of all time.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. And with that being said, do you have anything else?
That's it.
I think that was good. All right, you guys, you take it easy. Remember, don't be a bitch.
Yeah.